Hello students, today we are going to start with the new topic, that is our nervous system. Okay, so let us see that how we can define nervous system. It is the network of nerve cells and fibers which transmits nerve impulse between parts of the body. Okay, so let us write this down. The network of nerve cells and fibers which transmit nerves impulses between parts of the body, which means it is actually a network which is having lots of nerve cells, means your neurons, and fibers are there, which works for transmitting the information or stimulus which has been received to different parts of the body. For example, if you are watching a wall which is white colored, so you are able to recognize the white color because of your nerve fibers, and this information has been given to the brain, and then brain is reflecting it back and you are able to identify that particular color. Same way, for example, if you see a dog, your brain is having a memory of dog, that this particular organism is a dog. So you are able to recall it, and after watching you are able to identify the organism, that that particular organism is dog itself. Okay. So let us see what are the functions of our nervous system one by one. So first function of our nervous system is control. Control means when your nervous system is acting, it is performing its work, it is able to control all the functions, all the parts, all the activities of your body which you are performing. Okay, so it controls all the organs work. For example, if you are writing, so it controls when you have to give a pause, how you have to write, or if you're walking, then how you're going to walk, if you're running, how you're going to run. All your organs control, tissues control, and body parts control, it does. Secondly, coordination is there. Coordination means it regulates and interrelate between your organs and your performing particular function. For example, if you are swallowing food, so the same time when you are swallowing the food, immediately after that, that food has to go through your esophagus, right? So your esophagus has to perform an activity called peristaltic movement. So to let it perform that activity simultaneously with your having food, with the food which you're chewing in your mouth, so both the activities are going simultaneously together. So it helps in the coordination of your body organs and parts. Third one is your surroundings. Surrounding means it makes you able to sense your environment. For example, if you're moving or walking, going through an area which is having lots of plants which are blooming with the flowers, so you're able to smell good fragrance, right? So that good fragrance of that surrounding you're able to smell because of your nervous system. You are feeling pleasant, you are feeling good because of that good smell of the flowers. So that is also because of the smelling power, because of the sensing, because of the your neurons are active and your neurons are taking you interest and they are telling you about that particular surrounding. Then fourth one is the internal environment. Internal environment means the internal system of the body, means the environment which is happening inside your body. That internal environment, for example, you're having food. So the type of food which you have eaten, for example, if you have eaten very juicy fruit or very sweet fruit, so what changes or what kind of feeling it is going to give you, that kind of a feeling is your internal environment. Or if you're having good healthy food, it is going to keep your body more healthy, so that is your internal environment. So that is also maintained by your nervous system. Then higher faculties is there, fifth point. Higher faculties means your nervous system helps you to understand about the memory, about the emotions, about the intelligence. For example, if you're answering any hot question, so that your intelligence is because of your nervous system. Or if you're watching any cute kitten and you're able to say, oh wow, this is so cute, and you feel some kind of a love or some kind of a affection for that kitten, so at that time your nervous system is functioning. It is giving you that proper message that you are liking that kitten and that kitten is very cute. Sixth one is involuntary movements. Involuntary movements means the movement which you can't control. For example, heartbeat of your heart, your pumping heart, you can't control. For example, the movement of your esophagus, can you control that? No, we can't control our esophagus movement. I can't say that my esophagus, please stop and don't allow my food to go down in the stomach. I can't order him. So this kind of involuntary movements are also under the control of our nervous system. Seventh one is the reflexes. Reflexes are our immediate and protective action which our body performs after receiving a stimulus. So this kind of actions or activities are also taken place or also maintained by our nervous system. So I hope by this now you are able to understand about the nervous system and the functions of nervous system. Now let us see that in what different parts human nervous system has been divided or categorized. Okay, so let us see it in a flow chart form. Human nervous system. So first, if you will see, the human nervous system is divided into two different parts. One is called central nervous system. This you might have also seen called as CNS, central nervous system. The other one is peripheral nervous system, which is also called as PNS, peripheral nervous system. Okay, now our central nervous system is further divided into two parts. One is your brain and other one is our spinal cord. Now all our activities and functions of the body take place by the brain, but your reflex actions are taken by the spinal cord. Now the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system is further divided into two different parts. One is voluntary nervous system, I am writing it as NS, and another one is involuntary, or it is also called as autonomic nervous system. Okay, so peripheral nervous system is further divided into two parts: voluntary nervous system and automatic or involuntary nervous system. Now let us see the first one, voluntary nervous system. Further, this voluntary nervous system is again divided into two different parts. One is your cranial nerve and other one is the spinal nerve. Okay, further we will see that what are all these nerves and different parts. So next let us see that what are the different involuntary nervous systems. So involuntary nervous systems, first part is your sympathetic nervous system and the other one is parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, so let us revise this once again. One is our human nervous system is divided into two parts. One is the central nervous system, other one is the peripheral nervous system. So further our central nervous system is divided into two parts, which is called as your brain and spinal cord. So your brain and spinal cord are two different parts of our central nervous system. Now next one is your peripheral nervous system, which is also called as a PNS. Okay. Now peripheral nervous system is divided into voluntary nervous system and involuntary nervous system. Further, if you will see voluntary nervous system, it is divided into spinal cord, your spinal nerve and cranial nerve, and your involuntary is divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic. Let's just focus on this one diagram. This is to explain you about our CNS and PNS some parts. This part which you can see is your brain. Okay, and this part, green stem line, is your spinal cord. Okay, so your brain and spinal cord, these two are the parts of your CNS. Now coming to your PNS, which is peripheral nervous system. So let us see about the peripheral nervous system. Now on these cranial part, on the facial part, you can see some nerves going on. These are called as the cranial nerve. And the nerve which moves in rest all body parts other than your cranial is called as the spinal nerve. Hope now you would have been clear with what is called your cranial nerve and what is the spinal nerve. Okay. Now involuntary and automatic nervous system, you know that involuntary and voluntary action which your body performs, they are taken care with your peripheral nervous system. Okay. Then next one is your human brain. So let us see what is human brain and how it is. See, human brain is one of the widest and it is uppermost part of the CNS, which is here, okay, of your central nervous system. Then the weight of a human brain is about 1.2 to 1.4 kg. It constitutes about 98% of nervous system. and it has been divided into three different parts called as forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Now let us see them on a flow chart. So your forebrain is divided into three different parts. First one is your forebrain. Then there is a midbrain. And then there is a hindbrain. Your forebrain is further divided into three different parts or segments. One is the olfactory lobe. Second one is cerebrum. And third one is diencephalon. Further, your midbrain, this is again divided into two parts. Cerebral, peduncle, and second one is corpora quadrigemma. Then after third part of your brain is there, which is further divided into three parts. Pons. This is cerebellum. Don't get confused with cerebrum and cerebellum. Cerebrum is part of your forebrain and cerebellum is part of your hindbrain. And its third part is medulla oblongata. Okay, so these are the different parts of the human brain. Okay, now if somebody asks you that what do we call the study of human brain structure, its working and function, so you're going to say that it's called as encephalogy. This is study of brain structure, working and functions. Okay, now let us see about the diagram of human brain, that how actually it looks alike or how it is in actual. Okay, so let us see this one by one. Now here you can see this whole big yellow part, right? So this all big yellow part is your forebrain. Let me write here for you. Forebrain. This all yellow part which you are watching over here. So when you say that humans are having a big brain, so that means you're talking about your this big part which is your forebrain. Now let us see the other parts. Here you can see this part of the brain. My pen is actually not working on this color. Let me choose the other pen. Yes, now it's working. Some part of it here. Yes. So this one is the midbrain. And then let's see the hindbrain. Here you can see these shapes, right? So this part is actually divided into three parts, and here it is your hindbrain. So hindbrain, I had told you that it is constituting three different parts. So this one lobe which you can see, this is actually the pons, And this one which you can see is the medulla, and here you can see this part. Okay, this all part, this is actually your hindbrain, and this is called as cerebellum. Okay, so this is the stem of your brain. So this stem is divided into two parts, pons and medulla, and this entire floral shaped structure which you can see here in brown color, this is your cerebellum. Okay, and this long part which you are watching, it will further get continued and will be called as a spinal cord. Okay, now let us see. Here you can see with this forebrain this white part, right? So this white part which you can see is actually this is the hypothalamus. About this structure and function we will study in the next part of this chapter. So this is the hypothalamus. This structure which you can see is called as a pituitary gland. Okay, this is your pituitary gland, and this big part which you can see is the so this big part is your hypothalamus, and this one is your pituitary gland. Okay, now let us see the other part. This whole brain is protected by a tough layer, and this tough layer is called as a cranium. Okay, it is called as a cranium, or you can also call it as a skull. Okay, so your forebrain is this part, the entire yellow section. This part is your hindbrain, and this part is your midbrain. This is pons, this is medulla. Here you can see the pituitary gland, and this one is the hypothalamus gland. Okay, so let us move ahead and let us see what all these things function, or what all these parts do. So this forebrain is having this entire part, and this entire part is called as the cerebrum. This is cerebrum. Okay, this is cerebrum, cerebrum. Clear? So let us see what our forebrain does. See, when you are thinking, if you have been asked about any of the question and you are trying to answer for that particular question, that means you are doing a work called thinking skill, right? So this does the work of thinking. Second, you are sensing. For example, you are moving in any of the surrounding and you are able to sense the surrounding, or you are able to sense that someone is behind you, or something is walking, or someone is moving around you. Any insect is there, or any human is behind you, walking, going through. So whatever sensing you do, that is because of this forebrain. Then if you have been asked about anything and you are able to answer, that means your memory is working. So the memory work is also done by the forebrain. As I had given an example of dog, that you're able to watch a dog and you're able to recognize that, oh yes, it's a dog. So that means Your memory is working, your forebrain is working over there. Your cerebrum is actually working there. Then the emotion of anything. For example, if you saw that puppy, that dog, and you're feeling, oh, it's so cute, it's so lovable. So that feeling is also because of your forebrain. Then hunger. You feel, oh, I'm so hungry. After going from school at home, you say that, oh, mama, please give me food. बहुत भूख लगी है. So that hunger feeling is because of your forebrain. Your fullness. After having food, you say, oh, my stomach is full now, I can't have any bit. So that fullness of feeling is because of your forebrain. Then further, you feel sleepy. Oh, I'm feeling very sleepy after school, right? Sometimes you say after going home. So that sleepy mode or sleepy feeling is because of this forebrain. Now let us see the other parts. Let us see first about the hindbrain. Okay, let us see what all these works. See, the pons. Pons is actually, it works as the relay. Relay means it helps the body to take action, and it gives the information from brain to your organs. As you might have gone through the relay race, and you might be knowing that what is the relay race, what it happens in that object is there, and one child run with that particular object, and the other one on the other side is waiting for him, and when the first person reaches to the second person, it gives that object to him, and the second man takes it over, and he starts running and goes to the finishing point. Okay, so that kind of relay races are there. So the same way in our body also, pons is there, which works as the relay between our stimulus and the function of our organs. Okay, second one is about the medulla. So medulla also helps the pons in all kind of involuntary actions plus reflexes. Means when you see a snake and you suddenly jump and run from there, so at that time and that reflex action, your medulla and pons are working immediate basis. Okay, third one is the cerebellum. Okay, so cerebellum's work is to balance your body. For example, if I am standing, so I'm able to stand and balance my body on my both the legs because of the cerebellum. Okay, for example, you might have seen in some movies or some other places, like if anyone is alcoholic and drunk, then that person is not able to balance his body. He starts moving here like zooms, zigzag he moves, or sometimes he fell down. It's just because his body is not working properly, means his cerebellum is actually not working in a proper way. Okay, so he is not able to balance his body. Second work of cerebellum is to do the motor memory. Means it helps you in memorizing the things. For example, if someone, why it is said by the government, why it is said by the traffic rules that a person who is drunk, he should not drive, because first his body is not balanced. Secondly, his motor system will forget how to drive, when to just put on the brake, when to accelerate. Okay, so motor memory is also affected by the cerebellum. Okay, now coming to the midbrain. Your midbrain function is to hear the sound. You are able to hear me. What I am saying is just because of your midbrain. The light, your movement, I am writing here it as movement of head, movement of neck, these all things are observed by your midbrain. Okay, So here in this one picture, all the things are comprising. You can just recall and memorize what all the things we have discussed, what all the three different parts of our brain says about. Okay. So now let us move to the other part of this. Here are some keywords which always gives some confusion about the brain. Okay, they are actually some small things which are present in our brain. So let us see the first one. This is the gray matter. Gray matter is actually the outer dark layer of cerebral cortex. Cerebral, that yellow one which I had shown you over here. So this is the cerebral. So cerebral's cortex. Here in diagram you can see this in a better way. This darker portion which is here, you can see this darker portion is gray matter, and inner side this white portion which you can see is called as a white matter. So white matter is the inner part of cerebral medulla. Okay. Now coming to the third word, which is gyri and sulci. Here you can see that our brain is having this so many folds over here. This all folds you can see. So actually these folds are here to increase the surface area of your brain. So the upper fold which is in this cerebrum is called as gyri, and the inner side fold which is here is called as sulci. Okay. Now let us see that what each different parts of our brain does. See, this is one structure of your brain. This is the front overall view of the brain and is called as the lateral view of brain. Okay, so this lateral view of brain is going to show you all the areas of cerebrum. Okay, so here we are going to discuss about the areas of cerebrum. Okay, and this is lateral view. Okay, so let us see. This was one, parietal lobe. This is second, occipital lobe. Third one, temporal lobe, and the fourth one, frontal lobe. Okay, so let us see them one by one. Let us see first about the parietal lobe. This part is called as your parietal lobe. Okay, and this parietal lobe helps you. Parietal lobe is the first one. Parietal lobe helps you to taste, to feel the pain, touch feeling, pressure and temperature feeling. For example, if you're having any kind of a food and you're able to taste the food and say that, oh, this food is very sweet, this is very salty, this is bitter. So that is just because of your parietal lobe. You are able to say that, oh, someone has touched me. So that touch feeling is just because of your parietal lobe. The feeling of temperature, like outside it is hot or cold. So that temperature's feeling, your inner body temperature's feeling, is because of the parietal lobe. Occipital lobe, like your intelligence, your emotions, your memory, your reasoning, all is because of occipital lobe. Like if someone says that, oh, you're so intelligent, you had answered all the MCQs, you have answered all the questions of miscellaneous, so how? So you'll say, oh, my occipital lobe is very active. Then your third one is the temporal lobe. Temporal lobes helps you to audio, to listen any of the thing, to see the pictures, to see the videos, and yes, it helps you to hear the speeches, to speak out. So it helps in all these kind of activities. Frontal lobe is there. So frontal lobes helps you to perform all kind of voluntary and involuntary actions. Here I had written vol, and invol means voluntary and involuntary. So like chewing, you can allow your body that, oh, my teeth please, my jaws please start moving, okay, stop. But can you ask your esophagus, please don't make the food to go inside my stomach, please stop there. statue. Can you do it? No, na? So it performs all involuntary and voluntary actions like movement of lips and tongue. Okay. So these about the spinal cord. Spinal cord is actually narrow, cylindrical, and it is about 43 to 45 centimeter in the length. Okay, and this spinal cord is protected by our vertebral column. About its functions, we had discussed that its first function is the reflex activities, like whatever reflex actions your body takes, that all reflex activities are done because of the spinal cord. Secondly, it also conducts sensory and motor impulses to and from brain. So